Hello, and welcome back to another episode of PSY-POD, the podcast about nothing, the podcast where we bring local people to talk about local vibes, but sometimes not so much local. We are just like eating ting momo in Jamyang, Norling, with finger chips and eze, that chukoko eze. We are just like that, okay? We make it burn later when you get home. But right now, while we're here, we are joined again, not as always, but sometimes, most times, with Norli. Say hello. And who do we have today joining us? We are here in the cold peaks of Gangkar Pinsum. We're wearing t-shirts, but still, we're that cool. Who are we here with at Gangkar Pinsum? Please say hello to our local and international fans.
Kuzambo. My name is Ugyen.
Look there. Look, tell the peoples.
Thank you for having me on PSY-POD. I've been watching some of the episodes. It's been fun getting to learn about our own people. We have some really cool folks around.
Okay.
Coming back to myself, I'm Ugyen, and I'm the founder and currently CEO of Pure Bhutan. And we are basically a nutraceutical company. Okay. And what we're basically making at the moment is something called a tincture.
Huh?
A tincture.
How do you spell that?
Tincture.
Tincture.
Tincture. Wow. Okay, we'll get into that. Okay.
So that's what I do, and also last 8 years I've been in that whole journey of food. I think we can get into it as we speak. Yeah,
sure.
But interestingly, eight long years of experimenting and a lot of learnings. It's not necessarily have been like the most smoothest journey, but it's been fun.
Oaks. All right, man. We'll get into that. So, welcome to Ugyen Tshering, aka Ugyen Stuff. We'll talk about his stuff. To all the vibe coders, the hen shushers, the vacuum cleaners, the art painters, and the gigglers. Live from Juno Studio, PSY-POD starts now. PSY-POD. Today's episode is brought to you by Pure Bhutan, embracing the elegance of nature. Okay, now before we begin, let's get real. We all have that one friend who keeps rambling on and on and on about superfoods, right? Well, guess what? Bhutan has been doing that for centuries. Quietly, humbly, and way better. Pure Bhutan is all about bringing the purest herbal wisdom of Bhutan straight to you. Their premier brand KUZU offers a Reishi Cordyceps Tincture, which is crafted to boost your vitality, energy, and overall well-being. And the best part is sourced from the pristine mountains of Bhutan, where the air is fresh, the water is crystal clear, and the nature is, well, pure. What I love the most is every drop is crafted with care, sustainability, and a deepest respect for Bhutan's environment and community. So when you're choosing Pure Bhutan, you're not just choosing wellness for yourself. You're also supporting harmony with nature. So if you're ready to level up your health journey with a touch of Bhutanese magic, then check out Pure Bhutan and their KUZU tinctures. It's wellness with elegance, compassion, and the right amount of nature's charm. Pure Bhutan, where nature's wisdom becomes your vitality. Now, back to the video. All right, before we begin this podcast, very nice. Thank you so much.
Shit, I like it. Jamyang, thanks.
We'll keep this in. We gotta give a special shout out to DOMCIIP for the hardware. Thank you for supporting this podcast, and also we have to give a big shout out to the lovely supporters, our members, our podheads who help support this podcast. So look up, okay? Thank
you.
Our podheads, our lovely podheads, who continue to support us. We appreciate. We demonstrate our appreciation to you. Anyways, if you want to be a member or podhead, you can join by pressing the join button, which might be there, or clicking the link in the description. Unfortunately, this option is not available for people who live in Bhutan, but if you're working outside, then please try to support. Okay, if not, you can consider subscribing. Yes. Before we begin, I will urge you to subscribe because about 40% of you who watch do not subscribe. Why? Please. I begs, okay? Then I'll bring interesting people just like Uge. Oh yeah. Oh, before we begin, sorry. Also, another special shout out to our PODHEAD Pro Dhoti. You can upgrade from a PODHEAD to a PODHEAD Pro. Yeah, see? And then from there, we mount pana PODHEAD Pro Max. But that we only got the Pro version, okay?
Sponsors, Evo. Any sponsors you forgot to mention?
Yeah, we got sponsoring this episode.
Okay. Wow.
And what are you sponsoring? Actually, good segue. What are you sponsoring? What is being sponsored today? What item, what product is it?
Let's give away 10 bottles of our product to our...
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you need to give it to somebody, but what is the item level?
Okay, let me show you. It's in my pocket.
Or you're just happy to see me?
So this is the product that we've been working on almost last 2 years.
Okay.
And not just the inside, but the whole story and and the narrative to sell with it and all of that. So it's been a while we've been building this, and I think by far, like I was mentioning, in my 8 years long journey, I think this is one of the products that I felt the most kind of coherence with the values and the stories that I got to experience.
Okay.
So it's a Reishi Cordyceps Tincture. So basically tincture is a herbal extract. So our tincture is double extraction. We use this double extraction process to basically take out the good stuff from
The
these
cordyceps.
herbs. Yeah. So reishi is a mushroom. I should have bought one here, but
A mushroom,
anyways,
Cut it
everyone
up.
can
Where
look it up.
do you find
Okay,
it?
maybe Bita, can you put it up? Yeah, okay, thanks.
Thank you, Bita.
Yeah, you see it?
So,
You see it? It's there. Apparently, it's there. Okay.
Whoa, yeah.
Oh, it's
so,
there.
so that's
Very nice.
Never
Oh, there. Oh.
Andrew, do what the move.
yeah. So it's a very alien looking like mushroom.
Okay.
And this mushroom is very popular in Chinese medicine as well. So in traditional medicine, this mushroom, we've been using it for a really long time. And cordyceps, we use Cordyceps sinensis, the cordyceps that we get from our highlands. So basically, that cordyceps has something called cordycepin inside of it, which basically, help us give energy and stamina and things like that. So that's also one of the reasons why it's one of the most highly priced herb.
So, what kind of people would maybe be ideal to buy this? Like example, energy drinks, people who have workout or
Athletes, maybe.
athletes. So, who would be like a good prime consumer of this tincture?
In a way, I think everyone, but also at the same time, that's a bit too narrow as well, right? But what I mean by everyone also is, if I could explain a little bit further, is I think taking care of our body is a responsibility of everyone.
Okay.
And, food is a very complex, we have a very complex relationship with food, right? In the sense of it's not necessarily what's good for your body. Sometimes it's taste, right? Sometimes it's probably the temperature, that's why we wanted to drink like a ice Coke. And sometimes it could also be what's available in the restaurant nearby or wherever you are, right?
Sure.
So with all of this, our food basically is not necessarily completely optimized to give the best that this body can offer. So we go through life and we experience, the dinner and we have a feast and then some sort of things happen to our body and we don't realize it until it's quite late, usually like 50s or 40s, right? And then suddenly you realize you have some sort of diseases within your body. Personally, in my case, I think the inspiration kind of started from my father's health. He passed away from stomach cancer about 9 years
Sorry
ago.
to hear.
But I think it's also not really not necessarily a sad story. I think when I was sitting with my father in the hospital while he was awaiting death, right? About 6 months, I saw him basically change from someone who could do everything to someone who needed assistance just to take a poop. So
You can swear in this podcast, don't worry.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, to take a shit, okay.
To take a shit.
Okay.
So I mean, that whole process have been for me also sort of he was 58, so pretty young, and he was diagnosed with stomach cancer. So while I was with him, thinking through stuff, and he was not someone who drank or had
bad eating lifestyle.
yeah, or like smoking,
Bad
or,
habits,
or
okay.
coma, none of that.
Okay.
But he still got stomach cancer. So a part of it is also genetics. It's how the body kind of respond to the information that's already in your body. But also at the same time, there's also this new study that suggests that only about 20% accounts for genetics, which means 80% is your lifestyle, in the sense of not necessarily, just by eating right and not smoking or not using alcohol, it doesn't really work. I think there's it's a bit more complex than that, right? Like, how many pashasikam can you eat till you're sick? This kind of questions. How many nosha tasi can you eat till it becomes bad for your body? So I think all of this kind of, and it's also a logistical problem, right? It's what foods are available by season and all of that, right? So in my father's case, I think at least from what I have been able to deduce is that he likes meat a lot. So that could have been one of the contributing
Red meat,
factors.
yeah.
Red meat, dried meat, So,
Please, Jamyang.
so
Water boil us, man. Please, thank you. Go on.
thanks. So,
Back to the red meat. Yeah.
back to the red meat. I mean, all of these are potential reasons of how our body could,
Reduce.
could kind of dysfunction, right? Not in the way that we would like, and I think from that experience, it kind of taught me that beyond a lot of things, health is perhaps the most important. I think the world is quite beautiful to. There's so many beautiful things in the world, right? So if we would like to experience that, the first kind of thing that becomes really important is our body, our KUZU, hence the brand KUZU. It's our body.
Story building.
Wow, storytelling. Papa, in terms of like little segue, Papa Ani, in terms of pitching as an entrepreneur, storytelling is one of the things that people forget to know. So you need to build a story over there. Like Nike is not an athlete brand, it's a thing which makes you feel confident. You need to build you that story. And like what you call a KFC feels like home. You have to give that story, like, oh, it's like that. So it can be anything, but if you don't have a good story behind it, the product doesn't really sell me. But right now you gave us the story, okay? You guilt tripped us to buy this, huh?
Oh shit.
But it's okay. Anyways, let's go back to the product. Can you show us a demo? I'll do the demo.
Okay. So I want you to try. So under your
also try,
tongue.
okay.
So maybe I think a bit further explanation on the product. So it's a Reishi Cordyceps Tincture. We use double extraction process, and we basically use 2 types of solvents. So firstly, all of these herbs are boiled. It's almost made like a tea, right? So you do feel the difference, right, when you drink water and tea, right? So which means the herbs get infused into the water, and there are some good stuff there, like. It's called the bioactive compounds, and when you boil it, basically it becomes easier for your body to absorb some of that, because those get dissolved in water like when it's boiling. So that's the first step, the first process. And in the second process, we basically used alcohol.
Nice. Highland.
Okay, I think alcohol also gets such a bad rep sometimes, but also at the same time, it's one of the most useful things we kind of made, right? In the sense of we can use it to sanitize.
Sure.
Alcohol, right? 100% alcohol. We can use it to sanitize.
Sanitize my heart.
So, perfume. So many different uses, right? So alcohol basically kind of helps. Some of the bioactive compound can only be extracted using alcohol. So we basically use a maceration where basically the herbs are stored, they're soaked in the alcohol and like literally shaken for about 6 weeks.
Every
Every day, yeah.
6 weeks straight.
So right now, how we are basically making the product is we're still a startup. We're a small company at the moment. So we basically use our body, right? And get some exercise done as well with it.
Oh my God, I was joking. 미치 대원로 전바스. 시전이 로라. 조조조.
So it's about 2 liters per mg jar, like this in the glass, and we basically use a different type of ratio for if we're extracting reishi, the mushroom, we do about 1:4, so 4 part alcohol and 1 part mushroom. And the mushroom is basically firstly harvested and processed, and then processed into powders, so that those powders are basically stored in the jar. And with alcohol, and because it's powder, it's easier because it increases the surface area of the herb, right? Because when it's in powder, right? So over six weeks long, this shaking in the alcohol, makes So I think the nice thing with all of this is like tincture is something that we've been making for almost 6,000 years. Like it started back in the Egyptians, and this was also probably the earliest form of medicine that we as humanity kind of used. So the product in itself is in the West, it's something called grandma's recipe, because that was what your grandma used to make when you get a cold or a cough.
Okay.
But not doing so much now, because the world has become much more fast-paced, and all these different things that has taken over, right? But coming back to our product, we kind of took inspiration from all of that, and that's how we're doing it at the moment. So the herbs are extracted using this stew process. So the whole process takes about 8 to 10 weeks, just to get to the end product. And once that's done, you get this really, really concentrated extract of the herbs. So there is some alcohol in it too, because the alcohol kind of helps to preserve the herb for a longer time, right? But you only consume 1 milliliter, so it's not like you can get drunk with it. But it has
1 liter gajin them those.
So this is 30 milliliter. So it's for 30 days, and every day you can have 1 milliliter, or 1 milliliter of it. And coming back to that lifestyle and all of that being complicated, and coming to us taking care of our body, right? Is if there's a way, because this kind of herbs are also, these are mushrooms, right? So these mushrooms have such magical properties, and that can basically help us, maybe balance out some of those bad habits, right? Because we still need to do the exercise and all of that, but also at the same time, this can kind of help enhance, our body's response.
Supplements and
So this is like pure vitality. It basically boosts your immune system. So you're basically, your body's ability to fight back becomes much more stronger, and it also helps you with energy and mental clarity. This mushroom have this magical properties,
Magic mushrooms in a jar.
Very magical.
Well, you're supposed to let us try, so you didn't give us.
I'm so sorry.
That's why Shiva Chak Bana Chini, demo bini gokap chemo tomnya.
Apologies. So on our dropper bottle, on the glass pipette, we have markings. So all you need to do is take 1 milliliter a day. Okay. So you take 2 drops and directly under your tongue.
Under your tongue.
Like you would have your medicine under your tongue, right? Because that would help the medicine to digest, like take into your bloodstream. Yeah, it's the absorption under your tongue is much.
Boy, I see more you know.
But I thought our top part of our tongue is more sensitive than the bottom, member. Because we have so many senses, man, sweet, savory, bitter, while as bottom they tamarind. Okay, so I can't get.
But tongue, interesting. So take few drops and under your tongue.
So 1 milliliter per day.
1 milliliter per day.
So 1 milliliter can't get the more. Though sure, need to. That's mambu.
Pure vitality.
Okay, so I gotta put 25 more, a little bit. Okay, so under the tongue and just.
Yeah, lift your tongue up and then under your tongue.
Oh, that's what she said. Hey, Jamyang cocktail, I like this. I like this kind of weird taste.
So there's a bitterness because of the mushrooms.
언제가 vitality 언제가
Oh, I'm feeling
very vital.
vital. Very vital. Whoa, it's got an alcohol, like we tasted a little bit, got a kick.
So we have about 25% alcohol in the mix.
Okay, so have you done tests like honey, like human tests where people have like you studied after 30 days, like what in aspects in their life have they experienced and bigger?
So these kind of tests are a bit expensive also. So startup like ours, Oh yeah. I think like. On
but you're biased, no?
But also at the same time, because I think when it comes to things like that, the clinical trial and all of that also kind of becomes important, right? To understand if this actually working, right?
Yeah.
But also at the same time, there's already a huge community of people across the world that basically use alternative form of healing, right? Plant therapy, using plant,
Okay.
So also most of the medicines are derived from plants, right?
Sure.
So it kind of comes like that.
Has
But
to.
what we can kind of boil down to though of why the product kind of works is firstly the extraction process, like I mentioned, and secondly also these two herbs is like one of the most studied herbs, like probably there is in the sense of there's so many paper. There's so many great researchers that have tried to understand these herbs, and these have proven to have this bioactive compound. So it kind of boils down to the ingredients inside. So even though we have not been able to test, we are sure that we have these compounds within inside that will help you. So because of that, we kind of refined the whole extraction process. Making sure it's clean, making sure the herbs are sourced from the right places, right? So all of these things done, we basically get this tincture.
But Mapani, what are the benefits? Okay, it's very vague to say your life gets a little better or it's a healthy.
Antioxidants
What are the specific things? Like example, my mood is better, or example, Drobolomda, I feel fresh, or like when I eat food, I don't feel bloated. What kind of some stuff we can experience?
So for these herbs to also work, you kind of use it for a good amount of time, at least 1 week to 2 weeks to kind of know its effect, right?
Okay.
So when over that time, there seemed to be a noticeable change, at least within my own self, when I went through this. I think maybe that can kind of connect to also a story of how there was this period of my life when I had the turmeric capsule and powder mixed in my water for about 6 months. And there was a huge amount of noticeable change within my body.
Like
my skin started to become fair.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
So all of these are called herbs for a reason. They have these bioactive compounds that kind of help.
Okay.
you. So what the product basically does is make those bioactive compounds available in the sense of maybe if I could just summarize what the product itself just does is it helps you it gives energy to your body because
We're back for some reason. Anyways, what are the attributes of these things which will give me a good life? Like, for example, I take some supplements, okay? I watched one brain doctor podcast talking about how much we neglect our brain health. Like, like alcohol breaks down to ethanol, just like any sugar does, and it has the same effects to your body as does cake in the body. That's our relationship with alcohol. But what we forget is alcohol, there's a lot of neurological damage to the brain. Like it's the same as, like anything, cigarettes also maybe harms your lungs, but also harms your brain. What cell sector, some of the sensories also is like more overstimulated. So when it gets numbness and tolerance builds up. So that's why that brain doctor told me like things we should always take, is like obviously don't drink too much, don't smoke too much. If you do, if not, the better don't take it. But what things which help is like fish oil, omega-3 is good for brain health. That's why the South Indians, we always see them, they're smart. Why? Because nyazong. You may joke.
True.
Like, the Punjabs will eat roti and puri, but the South will eat, fish, and that's why they're somewhat smarter. It's because the fish oil is very good, the omega-3. Sardines are which is very good for your brain health. So that's why I've been taking fish oil, because of good brain health, and also healthy fat. Another thing I take is creatine, because creatine is something which your body doesn't naturally produce a lot of. It is there, so what it helps muscles retain water. So when you drink water, the muscles absorb water more. And it's good for exercising and lifting weights, because we need to our muscles need to get, so it swells up. So you can lift more because your muscles absorb more water.
Our water absorbs more water. Yeah.
Our muscles absorb more water. Okay, anyways, and then what else is there? Then obviously I take sattu powder, which is like this chickpea powder from Indians, which is basically a poor man's protein shake, which is very affordable. So basically it has good like fiber, carbs, and protein, which I use for daily life. So another thing is I take multivitamin and vitamin D, because one fun fact, all Bhutanese are vitamin D deficient. For some reason, but I think the quality of our sunlight and our geographical location, all Bhutanese are vitamin D deficient. So what vitamin D deficiency does is it makes our bones weak. Makes our bones weak. So low gave the time hip crack because it's vitamin D deficient. So I take vitamin D recently. I'm taking multivitamin. Even Inola and I, we bought multivitamins, together. So like I take these things because I did a little research and I know why it's good for us. Like vitamin D, then fish oil. But other stuff is bonus. Like I've also heard that ashwagandha is really good for the brain. Have you heard about ashwagandha?
Yeah.
Ashwagandha is really good. So just like that, I want to know like what does your tincture do for the body?
So one of the main advantage it gives is basically it gives you better energy. So you get tired or fatigue. This kind of helps.
Okay, nice.
Thanks to the content inside, right? And the second thing it also helps is it makes our immunity stronger.
Okay.
So our body's ability to fight back becomes much more enhanced.
Okay.
So the third thing is it also helps us get better sleep. And sleep is, I think, something that we should definitely talk about.
Yeah, we can talk about it, man.
So it also helps you get better sleep.
Okay, which is good. And so these are the top 3 things.
These are the top 3 things that this helps.
How is your quality of sleep, buddy?
Recently, it's been improving. I actually keep data on watch.
Jamyang also keeps. Jamyang because Jamyang has trouble sleeping, so maybe this is good remedy for him. Watch the like I only had 3 hours of deep sleep. Like how much is breaking his REM cycle, the deep sleep. So how is your sleep, man?
So I woke about 5 times last night.
Oh shit, that's bad.
But I have 26% deep sleep, 55% light sleep, and my REM sleep, which is the rapid eye movement, it's also usually when you dream.
Yeah.
So that was about 19%.
So
my brain activity is actually really good.
That's good, yeah. Okay. I wish I'm watching your works to track my sleep. How's your sleep, Inola?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Do you have trouble sleeping?
Yes, why? Yes.
No. Do you sleep long hours or short hours?
Usually I prefer long hours.
Yeah, but then let's say in recent 1 week, how was your sleep quality?
Sleep quality yeah.
Tsap bel nyuina.
Labru
No, you have insomnia?
Insomnia but just have trouble sleeping, because
Like,
there's so many distractions.
How long does it take for you to fall asleep?
That I haven't.
But let's say a rough estimation.
So usually when I have trouble sleeping, when the neckband earphone, Bluetooth, I listen to something like a podcast or something. Then I'll just listen to people rambling. Then I don't know. So 20 to 30 minutes, I guess.
That's okay.
Fall asleep. I'm distracted by much.
What about you? How long does it take for you to fall asleep?
I'm usually very tired by the end of the day. So it has not necessarily been the most kind of systematic sleep in the sense of, there's no particular time I go to sleep at. But usually I try to get about 6 hours on.
Now, how long does it take for you to fall asleep? Though?
Very quick. I can because
That's short.
usually
Oh, then that's healthy.
Yeah.
That's healthy. But then you're having only 6 hours of sleep per day now.
Depends. Sometimes I think even less than that. But sometimes I get to rest. So during those times, I
Naps, yeah.
pay my sleep debt.
Power nap. Yeah.
Sleep debt. Yeah.
Dropped a bit. Tops.
I've done a lot of research on sleep.
Vitalized.
Yeah. So optimal is always 7 to 8. 8 is bindas. No, 8. But if you can, 7. And if you cannot sacrifice, at least 5.
5
At least 5. Because your brain is where it recovers more. Same like when you exercise, you don't actually do the growing or the muscle building when you are awake. It all happens when you sleep. Like when we grow up as kids, we're growing at night when we're sleeping. We're not growing during the day when we're playing.
Yeah.
We're growing when we're sleeping. So it's very important for everything to recover, reset. Phone battery charge.
That's a good
Exactly. So I've done a little research, and then the thing is that sleep should never be same like how we take care of our food health. Sleep is something which we really we don't
compromise.
Yeah, but then it's something which always is the first thing we compromise, right? I can sleep when I'm dead. People say that shit when who really work hard. But sleep is very important. I'll give you one small example, and this one you'll relate to. So our hero Triple H. So Triple H is a WWE creative content head. So he's in charge of the creative side of WWE wrestling. Okay, and he's also a former wrestler. So he has a very busy schedule, and he's a father of 2 daughters. So I watched one video about his day in the life. So day in the life, he wakes up 9 a.m., does his meetings, does show recording. Then he says he's so busy, he can only work out at 1 a.m. So he's become his thing, where he works out every day at 1 a.m. So he works out at 1 a.m., and then he works out 2 hours, then he's done sleeping at 3. So by the time he's sleeping and shower done, it's 3:30, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's even being generous. He's saying he sleeps 4 hours a day. So maybe he's done 5 a.m. No, he sleeps at 4, but wakes up at 7. So he's like, what the fuck? I was like, no, I need to adapt that kind of lifestyle because he's like my hero. No? And he's like, how's your sleep, Triple H? It's a myth. You need sleep. Some people can function with less. I can. And, I'm good. And I've been doing it for my whole life. I'm just a grinder no more. Motherfucker drinking coffee, 4 hours sleep. I need to get on that level. Well, anyways, 2 years ago, heart attack. This guy is one of the fittest human beings, heavyweight, subtle, business, sharp mind, but he was lacking recovery. And I'm not correlating one with another, but I'm just suggesting that might have played a big factor because the legendary body rest, now I'm highly stressed, what's going to happen then? Other shit's going to go wrong. And now this guy's retired from wrestling. I'm sure he probably sleeps more now. So what we think is we can sacrifice when we're young, but all that sacrifice of sleep we don't get when we're young, when we're working hard and hustling. By the time we're 30, 40, 50s, we're going to fuck ourselves up. And I don't know about you guys, but I plan to live to 150, okay? So it's up.
Sleep 9
Huh? No, I plan to live healthy at 150.
Yeah, and I think
it's possible. I definitely think it's possible.
I think beyond the possibility of living 150 years, the other thing for sure is if we cannot do anything our body, give it enough sleep. So that's the most kind of important thing from your health perspective, right? To have a good sleep.
Yeah, quality sleep. Also.
Quality sleep.
So what I'll recommend for all people, you also and listening, is even if you can't sleep 8 hours more, just have a regular bedtime. So 35, 37, 31, I remember. We can be a little flexible. Does have to be exactly at that time. So for me, it's between 1 to 3 a.m. is my bedtime. And it might work for you guys, might not work for you guys, but for me, 1 to 3 I have to sleep every day. Weekends I can compromise but at least between 1 to 3 I have to sleep in. But it teaches your body, okay, the body's ready to rest. Same with that time, eating on time. You don't have to eat a lot of good stuff, but at least eat on time. So I always usually eat around 2 p.m., 1 p.m., and then maybe later dinner I have 7 p.m., 8 p.m. So it's always regularly structured in birthday. So when you're not eating on time and not sleeping on time, what happens is the body gets confused. It doesn't know what's going to happen with it. And that's when the irregularities happen. So eat on time, sleep on time, doesn't matter how much, doesn't matter when it is, but routine should go over. So simple example is fasting. I used to fast. I still fast now. So what happens when you fast is, let's say 16 hours, 20 hours. The first week is terrible because your body is expecting food on that time. So let's say you eat randomly at 4 p.m. or 3 p.m. But now you haven't eaten since 8 p.m. and now it's 6. Your body's like, what the fuck? Where's the food usually which comes? Usually it's time. Kansa mero bath, whatever. What happens is the body will react and tell your mind that it's hungry. So you get the cravings. And then you get the energy crash out. You get the energy. But if you don't do anything, the body will be like, wait, didn't give me. Next day, again it'll ask for food. You don't give it? Weird. After a week, what happened is now his body has learned, this fucker's not going to feed me at this time. And it learns, and you don't get the hungry feeling. It doesn't even come. Your body doesn't even crash because your body's trying to trick you more. But then what it happens is then it goes into ketosis. It eats the body fat because now you didn't give energy. It has used whatever is there. So actually body fat, it'll use as energy. But that's why fasting works. And the same reason how it works for drugs as well. So like when people are addicted to alcohol or like drugs, what happens? The withdrawal thing, it's actually your body because it's expecting that, let's say, a pill or alcohol at that time, but it's not there, right? So the body will go into a panic mode, saying we need it. So it'll do things like make you sweat or make you go into a panic attack in order for you to feed what the body wants, which you've been giving it all the time. So what you do is very stubborn and spoiled that we need to change. That's why the brain and the body are connected, but somehow they're separate. So facts. Fun fact.
That's a very interesting point. That's why we're just making from Reishi and Cordyceps, right? We need to make with so many different herbs, right? Because everyone has different conditions or different problems that they're trying to solve. So these have these 3 advantages, but you can take turmeric, for helping you with digestion or aid. Ginger is another amazing plant that we can definitely incorporate into our life. Yeah.
I think I've heard really good things about turmeric and ginger, but life not incorporate my bad. Now I think I'll start like maybe jana saka chitanji or tuba malom chira.
So we'll be making ginger and turmeric tincture at some point.
Oh, okay.
Definitely.
That's something to explore.
So also I think the other thing to also, so you already take supplement, right?
Yeah.
Also how it's made so when it's in a liquid form, your body has a much faster and higher rate of absorption. Okay. Because it's in liquid. And also we're using liquid as the, alcohol as the carrier, right? So we're basically using 40% vodka. That basically kind of help carry the benefits of the herbs directly into your bloodstream, right? Even when you drink alcohol, right, you can feel it quite instantly, right? Into your body, right?
Not instantly, I say maybe 5 minutes it takes.
But it's much fast reacting.
It's fast
like
reacting.
coffee or some.
Coffee also I can feel it in the first 5 minutes, for me. At least for me.
Interesting.
Need to job demo. Then 5 minutes.
But also at the same time, you experience this crash, right? When you drink too much coffee.
Right now.
You start to shake, your body feel jittery. So that's the other thing, right? If you can kind of incorporate like a tincture, you can kind of get the same result, but not have jittery feeling afterwards.
Okay.
The aftertaste.
Aftertaste, man.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah, again, if I may ask, like, where do you source these ingredients from? And if the audience doesn't know, can you tell us a little bit about Yatsugenbub?
So Yatsugenbub is basically cordyceps, right? Cordyceps sinensis. It's this half caterpillar, half mushroom fungi that grows like really, really high up in the mountains. So this is only found within the Himalayan region. So Bhutan, Tibet, and Nepal, some parts of it, right? So basically, we source it from the highlanders at the moment, from Laya. That's where our cordyceps are coming from, and we source our reishi mushroom from a group of farmers in Ugyen Tshering in Gaza. So they have this village. There's a village called Ugyen Tshering, which is like right after you cross Punakha in the boundary, that's the village there. So there's about 8 farmers that are basically growing this. Now, a lot of people actually taken up growing reishi mushroom. So this seems to be quite gaining some popularity as well. So this mushroom, we can even find it in the forest. But interestingly, in this part of the world, we have not been consuming it. The Chinese put it in the soup and stuff like that. So reishi is also commercially grown in China, and because it has a lot of medicinal value, especially in Chinese medicine. So these herbs are there. So right now, the herbs that we're sourcing is grown by the farmers in Gaza and Shari. And I think the other interesting bit to talk about is like not just about where we source from, but how we source, in the sense of we have this ABS contract with the farmers in Gaza. So we have this base market price at which we buy, but we also have this benefit scheme that we're building with the product, in the sense of as a process of sourcing that, how about if we can also, kind of make it more sustainable, in the sense of like how can a company find a way to invest back into the community in a much fairer and and collaborative and benefit to both sides way, right? So with the ABS framework, we also have this 50% premium on the market price that we give at the end of the year to basically, and this portion of the money kind of goes into the community building. So the community has a tsopa, like a president who basically looks after their members, and they can kind of decide maybe they need a dryer to dry the mushroom better. So they can kind of invest that money collectively into that. So like I think these are like small ways that we are trying to make the whole value chain ethical and also sustainable, because these farmers are also very important, and we have like amazing environment. I think the other advantage with the herbs that we're sourcing here is the air quality, right? The air quality index in this region are like 0 to like 10, which is like excellent air quality, and and the environment is unpolluted. So all of that kind of brings together this really nice ingredient. If you want to put something in your body, you would probably want it grown in heaven, right? So I think Bhutan already have that space, and our farmers are basically the custodian of those places. So if we can kind of build this way, it's not just about one company growing, but it's also the communities that are interlinked to the product.
Very nice.
Very nice. Actually, fun fact about this is most Bhutanese experience this, and I think you also experienced, Inola has experienced, and I saw as a post on Reddit, so shout out to Reddit Bhutan, is that Chigekap Jota Chu Maruchi taste Notice very. And not to shit on other countries, but I think, at least in my humble opinion, Bhutan has the best water. No, it tastes weird, Chika.
True.
Now we've been spoiled to thinking water should be tasting like, our Royal Agro. But in Chico, that's chemical have you noticed?
And international member
Flavor,
because they make it a little bit salty.
For what? For some electrolytes, yeah.
I don't know. Properties they don't, which they think, or to differentiate themselves, because it's all basically water. And when you're an entrepreneur,
and I think most of the water is also like sunadatum and groundwater, right?
Groundwater? Wow, really?
Yeah,
like I think Delhi uses groundwater or something.
Oh, okay.
Sunadatum, I think the sagi flavor is
earthy elements.
Ooh, yeah, and glacier
but also at the same time, if you're in a metropolitan, you can think what must be going down.
That's what I'm saying. That's it. The water tastes weird. Like when I was in Japan, I used to drink tap water all the time because they said it's clean more. But it tasted weird. But I was like, Japanese, why to question them? I drank. But I was having a little bad diet then, and I got H. pylori. You know H. pylori?
Yeah.
Another fun fact: 50% of Bhutanese have H. pylori, which is basically pronounced ulcer. So please get checked. Now you can check without an endoscopy. I did with endoscopy; it hurt. Okay, I got deep throated with a 6 feet tube down my throat. Okay, with a camera. But now you can just do with the stool sample. So I suggest anybody. Did you check?
No, I did not.
You probably have. 50% of Bhutanese have. So you use 50-50.
The odds get more.
So pogi ulcer makes you like appetiteless, and then Ngagi was a little severe, so mine was like orange, yellow. So like stage 2 na me. So you could have been third, and third stage gets cancer. So I almost had cancer, man.
Damn, man.
H. pylori.
But Ngagi badly was it literally stung. And so I thought like, hey, everyone must be going through this. So the man was the stage 2. Stage 1 you don't know. You have to check yourself. So stage 2, it gets to my stage with Pona Tsabe. And I think contributing factor was that tap water I drink. So yeah, fun fact: all of Bhutanese check your vitamin D and check your H. pylori. Most likely you have both deficient. Most likely.
Can I ask something like the karma? 40 minutes after, and we
Didn't talk about his entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah, like first time Chithomdara, ever since I met you, you were always doing entrepreneurial stuff. So KUZU, how did you start? How did you always want to become an entrepreneur, or is it the circumstances that molded you into right now?
I think the whole decision was almost like a knee-jerk reaction, right? Not necessarily planned, and I would do that. But I think one thing that was sure is I always enjoyed doing projects since I was young. So always working on something, right? So my projects were growing in scale, and also the ideas that I was experimenting was pretty fun. And so I always wanted to be a mechatronic engineer, actually.
Oh,
my whole life.
Megatron.
So a mechatronic
Transformer,
yeah.
Okay.
It's basically that, it's computer science, then mechanical engineering and robotics. So
you're into robots. Why are all Ugyens into robots? Why are all Ugyens into robots? Okay, anyways.
But I think it kind of connects interestingly to, I think, the other part of the story of how then, as I was on that process, I actually built a robot as well.
Oh, nice.
It was a fun project, while I was in high school, actually. So I think going through all of that, and then suddenly my dad's health situation, and me still figuring out, trying to learn technology, right? So I think the father situation kind of gave me this shift that, if I want to build something, I would like to build something that's meaningful to what's dear to me. And in that way, I kind of found health seems very important, And also in engineering, there's something called first principle. You kind of go back to the foundational principle, right? And when I look at life, I kind of find health to be that first principle, the foundational block that can, that kind of pretty much dictates everything else. So along that journey, was so I think the purpose part was very important, because you could figure out how to make things. You could learn how to code, or you could learn how to, I think, play an instrument. But I think writing a song is a whole different thing, right? So in my journey also, the purpose was health, and along that way, whatever project I could do to connect to that story. So started with actually an agri-tech company, startup that, we pitched a couple of places. We couldn't raise funds, So, so there were even moments where we could not pay rent, and I remember calling the landlord and saying, and it was called Mountains, so Mountains tech company, okay, and we couldn't pay the rent. We had about 6 guys with us. Me, my co-founder, he's a really good programmer. He's working in Germany now. So my co-founder, him, and we were basically trying to run this office, and we were trying to build technology and stuff like that. But the foundational block have always been food, so agri-tech, so I realized I like technology, and I wanted to connect that to how we can grow better food in efficient ways, cheaper.
Sure.
So looking at all of this different aspect. But I think along the way, all these other discoveries took place of building a product is very different than optimizing or tweaking or like setting up a greenhouse. So once set up, it's different. But the whole process of building a product it's been quite, I think, so that has been pretty much the journey so far. I actually was on a farm for about 3 years because I thought I had to go back to the source if I wanted to understand, food and its impact on health. I must understand how life works as a farmer. Then 3 years there, similar problems, late rent. We leased out a land in Pawo, and we built a lot of interesting stuff. We built a library in the trees.
Put camp also, Lomo.
Yeah, we had a camp as well. But we also had 5 plots of farms that we were growing chilies and different things. We also had this pathway across the farm. So I think the other thing that experience also kind of taught was firstly, a lot of resistance, especially, it doesn't make sense for someone to go back to a farm, to a lot of people. And for me, I was born and raised in Thimphu.
Start Valley.
Yeah, but I think the other joy was, we got to do a lot of interesting things. I had an interesting group of young friends with me, and we were building stuff, and we were trying to figure out how the food is actually grown and all of that. And I think some of the key learnings from there was that it's not easy to live off on a farm, and there's so many other things that kind of takes place. So if these people who are growing our food are stressed to that point, we cannot expect, I think, good food, right? So there's a reason why chemicals are sprayed, because, like weeding and trying to take out the weeds in a hot sun is not an easy task. So these were all very interesting lessons. And then at some point of time, I come back, and I think the other bit of a very interesting part of my journey was my grandfather's death, and I took care of the body, right? So I mean, this seems quite a sensitive thing to discuss. Death is something we don't want to think about.
No, we talked about death extensively on this podcast, don't we?
Nice. So that's and also the body, right? The body, pum, the corpse, right? KUZU, un-KUZU children, So in my grandpa's time, we had to wait for one of our siblings to come back, so we kept his body for about 30. It was due in February, so not too hot, but about 13 days. So it's still a long enough time. But when I went to wash the body, I could smell scent and things like that, because my grandpa, he used to pray a lot. Not necessarily I think that contributed, but he used to eat a lot of this rib, tiza, and all of these things, right?
So
which is quite a. So we already have. I think it's also very interesting to look at Buddhism and the way we actually kept our health. So all of this rib and all of that.
Do you know what herbs these herbs are made from?
Yeah.
Because you herbs in the earth, earth. Is it soil also?
There's a lot of
lead. There's a lot of lead. That's
true. So I think now we're finding that we can learn to use this better, right? But also at the same time, these were like some of the earlier forms of medicine.
Yeah. And it's actually a good question that Nola asked. So sorry to cut you off, but the anime is like, I used to be like, Nola, the mummy gijung. But it's good to ask them, like, because you're putting in your bloody body no more.
Exactly.
True. The taste missing. I just know it's good for the body, and I'm eating because my mama gave me. That's why.
In fact, everything, right? Whatever we consume on a daily basis, we should ask how much we're putting, right? Because that can create all these imbalances, right? And whenever your body is deficient of something, you can experience some kind of ailment, right? So, like you mentioned, 50% Lumo that has vitamin D deficiency.
No, almost 100%.
Almost 100%.
Almost 100%. Maybe rare, 99% I would say. I would go on to that stretch. But then H. pylori is 50%. But then vitamin D, I don't even need to tell you to go blood test. You definitely have vitamin D. Because I wanted to prove that fact. Blood test Jamyang. Deficient. If 30 is the number of like whatever vitamin D in your body, whatever measurement system, I was like 9. So I was like 21 points down. So Chindusudi maybe you're 15, 13, but I doubt you're 20. Doubt me. So get it checked out. But anyways, go on.
Also, I think, definitely I think worth taking supplement. I also started taking vitamin D supplements recently. So they have this weekly course and things like that. And I think it's, like you said, it's that I think we should take a proactive role in our health, not just let it take in the back seat, and when you're sick, you kind of get it checked, right? But every day, if you can, kind of incorporate different ways.
Like obviously, like purpose of life, which always is to make our lives better, and what we do, we want to get money, but we sacrifice our body for it. So when we get money, body fucked up, Joshi, life.
True. I think.
And then another thing is like we take care of our body, but then we say, like we keep preaching it in prayers and talks. And Take care of those 3 things, the minute. You meditate for your soul. Okay, study for your mind, and then exercise for your body there. And then if you take these 3 things, then life is bindas. Money can make you always make more money, but you cannot make a new leg. Okay. True. So like, true. I don't know. That's sorry for preaching. Okay.
But I think it's also like you said. I think usually when we're young, we don't necessarily discuss about our lifestyle's implication on our health. And like you mentioned, when you're old and you have all the money, then if you do not have your health, then it does not really make sense. So I think it's also like about finding that balance, and it's really nice that we are in our late 20s and we're discussing about health. Usually this is the conversation that comes much later.
Yeah, it's better to have it when you're young.
Yes, so that
rather
we
when
can
you're
start it, right? That's the other thing of like how prevention is always better than cure, right? So if we can find ways to optimize our body, our health, our sleep.
You gotta move for health.
Move for health. Way, move for health.
And the word KUZU, is in Shesa.
Yeah.
So like, respect the body,
Yes, there.
Or KUZU, it's
What's this? What's this? It's a temple, small stupa. And what is a temple? Your body. Your body is a temple. Okay? Ngachi mo haga jeu the hampi be respect be momena. But ngachi na ga to bana gaji meja. Ani mitwer bit. Is that? I don't know. Like at least like my whole life I've been a little bit conscious. And like most recently, my parents became very cautious. They went to like South India to get some health checkup with my dad and mom, and they came back looking fucking crazy, man, like so good. I was like, "What you guys do?" And they have this South Indian ashwagandha meditation, what do you call it, meditation and supplement, and basically they just taught like healthy habits, like don't eat too much sugar. If you can eat rice, choose maybe red. If you wanna have a sugar craving, maybe have honey. Like small alternatives. Which like these micro habits which will like increment into a big impact, man. Like for example, like another thing is our daily requirement for sugar is 30 grams. Doctor recommends only 30 grams of sugar a day because too much will spike up your blood sugar, too less will not give you much energy. So 30 grams is fine. Coke chunku chinna 30 grams chinna. So imagine if you drink like 3 Cokes, you're basically asking for diabetes. So Nola, but Nola's a freak of nature, man. He survives on Coke. I don't know how, man. He does for now, but let's see when you're 40, okay? And I'm laughing. Okay.
Cry sleep
time, baby.
Sai 150 Jordan.
But also at the same time, I think the other thing to discuss is also this whole relationship with food, right? It's not necessarily.
How's your relationship with food?
I think it's evolving, It's evolving. I'm learning new things like, Coke and things like that. These are also little joys of life, right?
Yeah.
So we cannot think of systems that is so disconnected and say, do this, that, But it's about...
Well, every once in a while, have a Coke, have a slice of cake, have some whiskey, have a cigarette or 2. But don't smoke 2 packs. Don't drink 1 bottle of whiskey. Don't drink 3 Cokes a day. Like that. That's something she became it.
So it's the balance, right? So it's a balance, right? So I think that the whole idea of your relationship with food, right?
It's balance, yeah.
It's balance.
Because right now I'm on a sugar cleanse, so I'm trying to restrict sugar as much as possible. But if occasional Coke and cake comes, I'm like, I have 1 slice, I have 1 Coke, but Nava I'm not gonna have. But as much as I can, I'll try to avoid. Because just like for my own benefit, but then like sometimes when if I'm feeling a little healthy, I'm like, I'll drink 3 Cokes. So it depends. But then you just need to know what you're putting in your body.
True, and that's also like we have the control, right?
Yeah,
we can choose to basically put, what we want to put into our body, right? So in that sense of. The external things are pretty much out of our control. You could die in an accident or all of that. A flight crash. I mean, this is getting dark, pretty. But also
here's
at the same time,
here's the thing: alcoholism kills more people than car accidents. Okay, what do you call liver disease kills more than plane accidents
in Bhutan.
Not generally, alcohol is the biggest killer of everything. Alcohol is the biggest killer, man. Biggest killer, and Bhutan number 1 killer cancer. Okay, and do you know what number 1 cancer we get in Bhutan? stomach cancer. And
H.
why?
pylori.
Because we eat shit. Okay, that's why.
And H. pylori.
And number one killer in Bhutan, fun fact, if you die, most likely who's watching right now, you'll die from stomach cancer. Easy. That's the number one killer in Bhutan, stomach cancer, because we eat crap. The things like doma is crap. Things like, what do you call, dried food. Actually, do we listening? I say, but dried food is not very nutritious. And also, actually, to days on man. But a lot of sugar. We forget rice has a lot of sugar, a lot of carbs, not healthy. We need a balanced diet. And what else do we eat? Crap. Changalam too, of course. And red meat, like you said, red meat is very bad for our body. Try to eat white meat or fish. Very good. So I try to like I said, I don't know how I'm gonna go out of this at the end of the day, no. But at least I want a quality life until that happens. So like last time I was talking with Inola, like I want to live to 150. He says, you want to be katpua and all tired of it. I said, I want to live to 150 if everything's okay. Now, if everything's fucked up more, then I'll reevaluate my life decisions. But if I'm all fit and proper, I want to live to 150, man.
150, man.
Yeah.
Why 150, Mappa?
Because 100 is what we expect. But most likely people live to 70 or 80.
50 more years.
I want to live 50 more good years, man. Life is beautiful. I want to enjoy everything. I want even experience other side of life. This side. Ngachi gamer memo. Ngachi GTA map is the shit within one session. There's so much like of a map of a Majumi. Of a map of a social Majumi. You revisit the minute. Red did not say you don't know. You can experience at least a whole lifetime just fishing, man. Most time red did. But fishing my life. And that's why I'm saying, like, I want to explore this part of life right now, but eventually I want to make some couple of 5 years here, 3 years here to do this and that and this and that.
150. Novel to do 150 of them.
150 of them back. But there's actually a guy, Brian Johnson. Have you?
Oh God, but he looks like a freak, man.
He's also one of the, I think, the most tested human beings.
Master Roshi.
This guy.
Old guy buff, you know.
No.
This guy who looks young and old at the same time. Basically, he's a billionaire and he's using all this tech and pseudoscience to try to make him live as long as he can.
He's the founder of Venmo.
Oh, so he's a Venmo guy.
Wow. So he sold Venmo
and became a billionaire. And now he just
preserve me, sir.
And then now, I think what's interesting about, which he also gets such a bad rep for, quite extreme guy, but also at the same time, I think some of the things that he's experimenting with his lifestyle, which is making accessible to all of us, and the data is showing that if we take care of our body in the right ways, we can really optimize our health, our heart,
100%
all of our body, So, I mean, this guy says he wants to live forever, So 150, why? Yeah, I think that's
stop there, man.
Why stop there, man?
I think 150 is the realistic number.
680.
Realistic number.
150, yeah. Doesn't sound 120 maybe. 120.
No, I feel like if I can optimize everything, if I can,
120.
Like right now, my habits are really not even that great. I sleep I eat on time, I go work out 3 times a week. But I still drink on the weekends. I still smoke sometimes here and there. So lifestyle is not really healthy. So imagine if I took it really seriously. I took out all the bad habits and I really optimized more. Get you 150.
True. Definitely possible.
And right now, I think I'm relatively average, healthy man. Okay, so bad habits and all still healthy. So imagine with no bad habits.
And the villainy origin story is more.
True.
Villains are more interesting, man. Lex Luthor is much more complex character than Clark Kent. Okay, I'm sorry to say it, but that's the truth. Manga.
Complicated, yeah.
Complex, much more nuanced. Superman, I'm strong and I can relate with you. Lex is like, I'm fucking smarter than everybody, but this fucker guy is better than me. I hate it. Anyway, sorry, I'm going on a wrong tangent.
But
okay, we're back to again.
Lex Luthor
back to
and Brian Johnson.
Okay.
But I think these are interesting aspects of how people are optimizing health and looking at all of these experiments. It's showing that we can definitely optimize our body, and these are some of the simple ways we can incorporate.
How long do you want to live for? If you could choose, how long do you want to live for?
I don't know. I haven't thought about that.
But
as long as possible, hopefully.
As long as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Inola? How long you lived to?
Enough, man.
Just give a number, man. Just give a number, man. Why you guys are so nervous? Just give a number, eh?
Because takpo tempo minimum.
Takpo tempo de midi, but takpo tempo huge. Gamsi se degonoi. Na zamling na.
Terminal.
Gamsi se. Okay. Na ba huge system shunga.
Simshunga.
Same shunga. Would you be disappointed with yourself? Would you be happy with your life till now if you died tomorrow? How about that question? No?
Maybe give me a few more years.
See, so okay, that's status. So not yet. Will you be happy with your life so far if you had to misfortune of passing away tomorrow?
Well, if I do pass away tomorrow, I don't think I have a choice, man.
No, but will you be happy with what you have lived so far, Lavi? Or would you be a lot of baksha like ani beni biti Pema soup?
Which
means you haven't lived the desired amount of life.
But 150 since
I think 150 is enough to do whatever I want.
50 plus years of back pain.
But I mean, there will be new things coming.
You think about all the horrible parts of aging. I'm thinking about the good parts, man. But you're thinking that was focusing on the glass half empty. I'm thinking about glass full now.
You're thinking it's a beautiful meadow.
Man. Travel the world. Bhutan, Asia. I haven't even been to.
Imagining you're like Master Roshi.
Yeah, man, surely. You visualize, you become, man. I want to be Master Roshi Joe. I teach come lost on she mo muscle mo. Surely, Hihachi, man. That guy lived, man. He wouldn't die also. Fucker went down a volcano, came back again, man. Okay. Sorry, taking the story.
Nice.
Anyways, we're going off tangent. Okay, let's go back.
But I think coming back to the stories that you were mentioning about how long you want to live for and all of that, I think that also played a very, at least why I want to live is, I think, a very important question to me personally. And that has also been pretty much the fuel of the whole journey of like, would I be happy if I died tomorrow? So it was, all this attempt of all of these projects that I did as an entrepreneur. I mean, I just got that label thrown to me. I was just figuring out what made sense with all the information that's given to me and the experience I had in my life.
Excuse me, I'm gonna piss my pants. Please continue.
Oh, so
okay, continue.
So I think that had a very strong influence of the projects that I did. Also, not necessarily the smartest move, all this experiment.
Part of being an entrepreneur is making mistakes.
True, making mistake, learning from it, right? But also at the same time, I think it has been a huge amount of joy also to have been able to decide what I think is important, what I think is all these beautiful things around the world is basically created by people. Yes. So I think the other thing that I took away from my father's death was that life is precious, and whatever we can do to make it even a little bit better, So I think those were like some of the things that really guided me.
How to enhance the human experience.
How to enhance the human experience, right?
Viagra.
Performance enhancers.
Oh, you can actually use this as well.
Oh, really?
Cordycep is actually popular. I think one of the reasons is because of that. But it gives stamina and energy, so boils down to that.
Very nice.
Did you watch The Last of Us?
No.
It's a game originally.
You talk about this.
It's originally a game. Naughty Dogs they made Crash Bandicoot game, but it's a really good game. But Last of Us ki story dina. Cordyceps.
No, you went directly to that.
Okay.
Zombie outbreak. World is ending. All the zombies are there. They look weird, like a mushroom, deformed zombie. We're like, how did this become like that? Then Inola come to it.
It's because of Cordyceps. Caterpillar overtake humans and the fungi finds out how to
parasite.
So they become like fungi, half human, half zombies. And they become blind final stage and they're called clickers because they make clicking noise. So that would be really interesting if you watch Cordyceps related zombies.
But then it's not really about how they are zombies. It's interesting. It's about the characters.
It's really
but what I heard is that if a zombie outbreak ever does happen, that's the most realistic outcome. Even though it's not realistic, it's the most realistic outcome.
That's again book Zumbe boys from the hills.
It comes from yeast infections, which is in bread and everything. But Cordyceps
Interesting.
That's Last of Us.
So also, why did you want Gangkar Pinsum as the background?
Gangkar Pinsum is the highest unclimbed mountain in the world. It's also called the Virgin Mountain. I mean, there's still some debate about who's the highest unclimbed mountain, but I think this also stands as a symbol of
Preserving.
to nature.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of these beautiful practices of naming a mountain with a deity, so we don't disturb it and all of that. So I think that has enabled like wonderful nature to thrive, and things like mushroom that can be sourced from this nature, right? It can kind of help us improve our body, enhance our human experience. So nature. I mean, we cannot say that we are so different from nature, right? What's man-made,
Yeah, sure.
It's. I think the whole our very nature of existence kind of is very it's very surreal, right? But also at the same time, nature has created all of these beautiful things around that if you can incorporate, we can kind of enhance this experience.
Yeah, sure.
So also, Kankar Phuntsho is, because it's the highest unclimbed mountain, I think it's the perfect symbol of purity.
White.
If we
Kankar,
incorporate
it's
pure
Kankar,
ingredients,
white
pure
peak.
It's
herbs.
like that damn pretty Marl's girl in high school which boyfriend life na was midi.
It's Kankar Phuntsho, man.
Wanzu me na. Come to propose when you try be rich cars like
What is
cool
this?
get
How
her.
do you mean?
No, the untouched, beautiful,
Wow, and
On the
Gankar, White Peak, Pinsum. 3 pin brothers in it.
Three brothers.
Three princes.
I'm not too sure about the whole origin story of, but I think for us also this whole symbol of what we understand of the best of nature. How can we bring that to the world?
Yeah, but going on that note, I feel like we didn't appreciate nature and at least our countries what do you call
Biodiversity.
efforts into conserving
Conserving.
our environment. Because like I'm not a nature person, so it comes from me. Then I realized, like, first of all, it's good for the environment and for the world itself also, which is being selfless, not being selfish. And second also is like you said, deity to Sugomatini, because we cannot take from nature, we can only borrow. So like same like chimacha
Ani forest atnyage man. Harvest penny.
Actually, we ask permission from the spirits which we cannot see, and then we share the area. That's an example like now when is our deity, and if you don't visit him time to time he gets upset. Same like we are respecting nature, our religion and our identity at the same time. Asking for like our what do you call obstacle because we are also like, if you don't respect nature and we don't respect the spirits more, then how do you expect them to respect you the more?
True.
Like example, like what my parents say, like this could be pure mumbo jumbo, but then we believe like shurunam so that like between 2 hours of 12 and 3 is like time and all, which is true then, because you at that time if you're there and you're in, let's say, drinking, intoxicated, people are there gossiping, talking bad shit. You're drunk, intoxicated, doing things which you would not do in your right mind. These are when these demons, the maras, are ready to strike there, because you're not there. But let's say you've been, at least respecting the things around you, whether it be the spirits, the nature, or people anyways. You have good energy that even if an obstacle comes, it'll help you avoid it. But if you're in a place where your mind is not right, you're not respecting anything, you're more likely to be in danger. Put yourself in a position where you might put yourself in danger there. So that's what I think. It comes with science and spirituality.
Beautiful integration of, I think, all of these different ideas.
Yeah.
And the Baba and Chipamsugi, because they protected all of these areas, right, for us, in the sense of sometimes, it's I think we also need to learn how to balance using it, because we need things, right, to live. As the settlement, as the city grows, it needs things. But also at the same time, instead of being extractive, taking everything out and removing everything, if the practices are much more sustainable, like you said, honoring the deities, and I think more than the deity itself, we're basically honoring ourselves by doing that, because we have beautiful landscape to go on a hike to, and also I think climate change is also a real problem, right? So looking at all of these aspects, I think that's one of the core strengths of Bhutan, right?
Yeah.
We have taken care of nature.
Yes.
These were like our environmental policies, like
Yeah,
thousands of years
and
back.
they've given us paid back in dividends. Like right now, why do we say we're not the only, but the few countries which are carbon negative? Why do we say water tastes nice? Why do we say we have great seasons? No, like our neighboring cities and countries which are around them more. Maybe few places have that luxury, but not all of them have. I can tell you that 110%. At least being a little around the Kukushani. Different countries in the job. So that's why when I come back to Thimphu, I was like, fuck, I took for granted. Every day I appreciate the damn mountains, the clear skies, the clouds. Which we take for granted, but which we can only experience when you go outside. But like I said, we're reaping very good benefits of living in Thimphu and Bhutan because that beautiful man.
Place like home.
I don't know, at least for me, I could be wrong, but that's what I feel.
That's I think you basically put it out there, very beautiful of how you put it together. Is that because we have this kind of environment, the herbs that we could get from this part of the world, these would be something that Bhutan can bring to the rest of the world, right? It's grown in such a clean environment with clean air, clean water, and we also need to grow economically, right? So I think that's the equation of me needing to be me as an entrepreneur. I need to figure out how can we also grow, right? How can we grow as an economy, as a country, as a community, right?
Yeah, man.
So it's like Bhutan's USP, DOMCIIP.
Yeah, definitely, right. And I think if we can leverage that, there's a huge portion of the world that would appreciate Bhutan's effort.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you another fun fact. I think in Shanghai or Beijing, I could be wrong, very polluted city to the world, China now. And I think during one point, whether it been COVID or before COVID, now some pollution at its all-time peak, that people wearing gas masks and going outside, that bad. So what happened was one entrepreneur went to a Canada place, nice mountains, and he started bottling air. And he sold it in China, and he became a mega hit. So it's basically, and they open it, and so they take puffs of clean air. So I was like, fuck, if I was entrepreneur right now, I'll go to Dochila, get cylinder truck, and I'll sell it to China's place. So even air, we don't even appreciate it.
No, I don't appreciate it when we get out of the airports. You get that whiff. Airport, and fresh air. When you juxtapose with the other countries.
Yeah, man, Bangkok, damn shit, man, what the fuck? Not to shit on Bangkok, it's just that now Thimphu air, once you've experienced it, you guys will know. Whoa,
it smells, aromas, but not the pure fresh air.
Right, which we can explain. We have experience, we literally can explain.
True, right, true.
And we take advantage of that.
And I think that opens a door to a lot of our other young friends as well, right? Bhutan's rich in this. There's about 700 medicinal plants in Bhutan. And how many products are we actually making, right, from all of this? And there's also this huge economic opportunity that we could, of course, it still need to be a collective effort, right? We still need to figure out a lot of things, like the laboratories, the workforce to basically mobilize all of this. There's some technical issues that we would still need to solve, but we already have a beautiful resource, that basically we inherited.
Abundant but we don't think about that. Which actually is a good segue. I'll ask you as an entrepreneur, what is one of the number one mistake or a few mistakes which are very common, which entrepreneurs make, which you made yourself? We always talk about success stories. Let's talk about mistake stories. I'll also share a few, Mistake, you think you can be successful without mistakes? Come, let's hear a few mistakes, man.
I am a mistake.
I am a mistake. This podcast is a mistake. But just like you guys, we love mistakes. Okay?
And I think that's also the place where we learn the most, right?
Okay, so let's hear some mistakes, man.
In my case, one of the things that I kind of feel that I fall prey to is when some things work, that arrogance in myself that, I figured it out. But now I'm reaching to a point where it's like I don't know enough, and I need to be constantly testing out things, figuring out, as much as possible, experimenting, and also there are some set paths, but also at the same time, not necessarily, you can kind of make your own path and you can solve problems in all sort of different ways, So I think initially in my earlier period as an entrepreneur, I think, and I still haven't figured it out, I'm still on this journey, and but also at the same time, I've never gotten this far with building my product, how we kind of built Pure Bhutan as we're building right now. There's, I think, a lot of effort and a lot of intricacies in the details that we have given that has only been possible because along the way we try to solve problems and not necessarily in the traditional way. But, the projects that failed traditionally before was also, I think, mainly myself. It's not the team, it's not the money, it's me. And usually I think we also get stuck in this cycle of thinking that the issue is something external. So for me, it has been that it's me, and I need to figure out a way. Collaboration's not.
So what about you? Was the mistake?
Figure it out.
Okay, you said arrogance. Okay, fine. What else? Like, do you have like a actual thing you did? Like, example, I didn't take care of the accounts properly, or I didn't. I spent too much when I shouldn't have, or I bet all my money on that project which I knew was 50-50 and I messed up. What was some certain
all
things?
of it. All of it.
Wow.
And also, there is no other way, I think. The only way is through. You make all of those mistakes. You won't manage the book till you realize it's important. You won't manage, I think, your inventory, your stock when it starts spoiling, right? So I think you kind of have to go through all of it. In my initial journey also, I took the classes, I read the books, and I was like, okay, that's how you do. Yeah, right. Woke up at 4 a.m. all of that. But along the way, I think the project kind of takes you, right? I think that's something that you guys could also relate to, right? It takes you, and then you are basically riding on its wave, right? So in that, I think it's adapting and learning all of that. Nothing actually happens by the book. I think the book is whatever we learn through the courses, through the seminar we're hosting. It gives the main important points out, but also at the same time, I think knowing about something and then you actually feeling it through the experience, I think that teaches two very different things. So in my case also, I feel the only way is true. So it's not necessarily, I think, a mistake to think that I think it's a big mistake to think that you'll kind of make it at some point. I think you're constantly evolving, you're changing things, you're learning from it. So nothing's set in stone. I think that was I think that's something that I still keep it with me when things doesn't work, and I mean it's never-ending issues, anyways, right? So. One of my friend, he's like a brother and a mentor, and he says like entrepreneurs are like chaos manager. Our whole job is to firstly create that chaos and then try to manage it.
Put a system around the chaos.
Exactly right.
Systematic chaos.
How exactly systematic chaos, right? So a lot of mistakes, man. That's why I cannot name one mistake. To say that was that's like the key common, and I think it really boils down to very different people and all of different businesses. So wouldn't really subscribe any kind of like this is the most common mistake you will make. I think you go through it. And
I could say a few which I've observed.
What are your mistakes, man?
Not my mistakes. I'm perfect.
What are your mistakes?
On average,
besides everything.
Besides everything. I think one thing is good also that which you just said, like when you're thinking you're too smart, no. That's when you're like biggest opportunity to what you call fuck up there, because you don't leave any room for learning. Cheraship is other than you think then something will happen which you won't expect to happen, man. Which is very good. My biggest mistake, at least in my journey, in whatever it may be, content creation, my career, business in a way. I don't really do business, but maybe using my content as a ways to support myself is a business. No. But in that aspect, my number one mistake I would say for myself is not believing in myself enough. I doubted myself too much. I also doubt be. Practical then one day I just said, fuck it, I'll just do whatever I think is right. Then later on I realized I acted too late, I
could have done it earlier.
Yeah, because I didn't believe in myself. Okay, so that was one. But one mistake I see in other people, I think, is we don't take care of our finances properly. Luckily, I've
You're
never
working
had
for RSEB? Or?
I used to, and I used to work until most recently as a content creator, arrangement, but now no more. But anyways, before that only, I was just good at money management. So like my mom would give me $300, $100 ki Counter-Strike 3 hours, $50 ki fried rice, $25 ki judge, $25 ki taxi, I'll save 100. So I've always been good with money. I don't know, just natural memory. And what I've noticed other people is they don't really keep that in their head. Like even when I was like at my brokest point when I was living in Japan, I was not zero broke. I still had like 5,000 because I was at least like ramen cost 100, train cost 250. I needed for 7 days. Multiply chap car mass go to. So naturally instinct I'm been good. But I realized people don't think that. I thought what I was doing was normal. It wasn't normal. It was just that I just was programmed because of survival instinct. And I think most people they think they have more money than they actually have.
True.
And then they later on they check the accounts. Fuck. Because I also don't really have good financial habits. Like I go out in the bar, sometimes I'll say I have one drink, last night I carried away, buy 6, 7, you pay more than you should have. But in my head I have a range like, okay, this weekend I can spend up to this much. And if it goes below that, great. If it goes above that, range here, but I'll never make sure it doesn't go way over that.
Red alert.
So I need mine now is always present.
Nice. How do you handle your
finances?
I don't. What's your finances, bro? Jamyang and I, we work together and we have a business account. So the work we do gets deposited in that account. Then we decide whether we should buy new equipment or save it for something else.
Nice.
Just trying, just learning. But account in the go more. Sometimes you think I'll remember this.
No, I think it's different. For me, I can account because I literally have a money. It's in my home screen.
App. Nice.
Money is your app.
It's money manager. It gives you a pie chart of what you spend in a month, and it can be alarming sometimes.
What is the most?
Like example, I'll give you. Okay, let's go to a month. Anna, let's.
Performance enhances.
Anna, see, look here. Look how much money I spent on
car.
Car doing birthday.
Alcohol.
See. So
nice. That's a really good way to
personal financing. And you can call me Tekchung or frugal or whatever. I don't care. I'll just call myself, financially disciplined. That's the word.
150 he need and go but more money management to reach 150 more.
Surely.
And also, I mean, projects to Subay and Zumbe, pretty much the most important bit, the finance. It's the bloodline that can make everything work.
Beating hard.
I think most people, it doesn't come to them naturally. Like I'm also not saying I'm an expert. It's just that I'm always conscious about it, which makes me, which is good. Sometimes I also spend more than I can, but I always have a range. Like where now you did this much, now you cannot do the other things you wanted to do now. I put myself accountable, like we talked about that time. You have to put yourself accountable for your bad habits. Okay, this weekend you go spend 5K on your birthday party with your friends and drink more, but you better not go next week and eat pizza every day. You know what I'm saying?
True.
That's
a good point.
You need to know
balance out.
Financial literacy.
Like the common rule last time I read, I watched a podcast is the 65-25-10 rule. So 65, if you have money 100% Belgian income, whatever source you have, 65% you use it for your bills, rent, karigi, maintenance, mahu, groceries. You use 65% of that. 25% use it for fun. You need a vice. You cannot be disciplined all the time. Your mind will go crazy. Whether it be smoking, drinking, video games, sports, whatever it is. 25% keep it for your fun. And then 15% you try to save. So that's the rule of thumb if you want to just have a basic life. But for me, it's like I'll just live a decent life. And if I can, I'll try to save this much every month. And if I can't, what to do? I tried. But I'll try to save. Because I have long-term goals, and not like long-term goals. Like simple, I'm saving up for a vacation. I'm saving up to pay off my car loan. I'm saving up so I can buy a new laptop. Small goals which will keep you in check there. Otherwise, let's say I want to buy this hum. You can afford it if you improve your habits, but now that you're smoking too much cigarettes or you're spending too much money on figurines, on Baba packets, I don't know, whatever it could be. So I say my healthy way of living life is you should eat clean, but you should also have a vice because your mind will go crazy. But then don't pick like 5 vices. Pick one vice.
Why not?
I have many. I know I'm bad. I'm not practicing what I preach. I have like 2 or 3. But I don't have 7. I've eliminated like 4 or 5.
That's
so,
smart. That's
so
smart.
if you can just have one vice, just one vice, just to make your mind clear. You can't always be good. You need to have balance. Yin yang.
And also the whole entrepreneurial journey have also pretty much been dictated by how the money flows. We had to shut down our first startup because we couldn't raise funding for it, right? The idea also matter. And also the whole idea around discipline and the resources that you have and how do you mobilize it, right? Is very critical, especially in entrepreneurship when we are basically you're basically trying to create something out of nothing, right? Just like you guys are doing the podcast, right? It has to be, a lot of things need to be put together. The lights, this flower, So all of this logistical things kind of require the burn rate, right? The money to kind of sustain. So in that way, it also becomes quite critical also for any kind of product to succeed, One of the learning from my project in Pawo was that the project doesn't really fail in the sense of like, the idea doesn't fail, nothing. You just run out of money to continue doing it. So redefining failure, right? So if you can figure the money part, you can basically keep what you think is important going for a long time.
Like, as long as you have the money, you can always you can cover up your fuck ups. But when you have less money, you have less chances of fuck ups. So video game logic, when you start with limited money, you have 5 health bars. Every time damage up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shisi. But when you have money, you unlimited life back.
It's like the oil element of an engine. So you need that to keep it running. You might have everything else, but you need that mark.
Tell that Brian Johnson it's about $2 million a year.
He can afford it.
Yeah, he can afford it, right?
Even LeBron James spends $1 million a year on his health for like cryo repair, supplements, personal trainer, chef, everything. But this guy's a multimillionaire. His job is to play basketball. Investing $1 million in his body makes complete sense.
It's an investment.
And then your Brian Johnson, he's a billionaire. That's fuck you money. He has fuck you money. We don't have fuck you money. We have fuck me money. No, but so he can afford it. So like if you can do it. Like if I had all the money in the world, I would fucking I'll eat like 190 grams of protein a day. I'll do all that.
But also, it's a decision, right? Like you mentioned, that cheap chickpeas powder that you use, right?
So I find ways.
It's that decision, It's even to cut down. It's not just about deciding what to put in by spending money. It's also deciding what to not put, right? Like less Coke or less sugar. So I mean, So money part also becomes very important in the whole equation of how much health you can maintain.
But then it's everything, man. It's everything. Money, man. Okay, let's go talk about a little personal stuff. We're talking too much about business. Let's just know the person behind the tincture, man. Okay, what are some favorite businesses did you admire?
You mean around the world, right?
Yeah, anywhere. Or entrepreneurs in Thimphu. Oh, sorry, Thimphu. I always say Thimphu. Bhutan.
International and Bhutan. It's hybrid.
I'm gonna definitely mention ChatGPT.
Oh, ChatGPT. Okay.
Thank you for the innovations.
They're an amazing company.
Please and thank you.
Please and thank you. I think if you look at the companies like that, you kind of see the type of impact it can bring to a large scale, to huge amount of people. It basically changed our life in how we do things, right? I mean, still gets a bad rep, for for the assignment copy and all of that.
Ethically, okay, it gets bad rep, but I think everything else is brilliant.
True, right?
Yeah.
And so companies like that really inspires me. They reshifts how we look at the world, So I think that's something that I would also hope to aspire to.
Okay.
To one day through Pure Bhutan, through the supplements we make,
Okay, what about an entrepreneur you like really like, wow, that guy did it nicely, I like him.
Skynet.
There's a couple of characters.
Okay,
actually.
please mention a few.
Ray Dalio, he manages a hedge fund. This guy is really cool, I think. He wrote this book called Principles also. Elon Musk for sure. Some of my friends are gonna hate me for saying this, but I think the dude's cool. He has vision.
Pre-Twitter, Musk was nice.
Pre-X.
Pre-X, Musk was very nice. Then,
but also what I like about him is his ability to think literally out of the world. It's what he kind of proves is that you can aspire, you can dream of anything, and try to work towards. Of course, still, my dad didn't have an emerald mind and all of that, but also at the same time, the guy did a lot. On his own.
He's a flamethrower company, man.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. Like, this guy had time to start a company which can make flamethrowers with.
And the Spaceballs needs sugar. Spaceballs needs sugar.
Yeah, joke there. Because they say it in Spaceballs.
Yeah, Spaceballs the and Star Wars ki paradigm bate. So and the master Yoda member master yogurt bate. So he's like, how do we make money from this film? Another long third world breakdown bate. So he's merchandising now. We have Spaceball, the dolls and the plushies then gets more Spaceballs, the flamethrower. So Elon Musk, like I like that bit, so I started the flamethrower company.
That's so cool, right? The guy decided.
Okay, Musk. Anybody else?
Very cool. Sam Altman, for sure.
Sam Altman, that sounds familiar. Which bigger for you?
Khudi and the Y Combinator when he was the president of Y Combinator is the best accelerator program in the world. It's like Uber, a lot of companies came through there. So when he was a president, he basically made about probably like hundreds of unicorn. So I think his way of thinking has always stretched up people's ability to do things, right? All of these founders are really cool. So because of what Sam Altman, I think, also enabled at Y Combinator, and he's also the founder for OpenAI. He joined.
Oh, so you're all AI into it, no? You're into AI.
So I think that the dude's super cool. Dude's awesome.
Okay. What about you?
Berkshire Hathaway guy na JC the Queen.
I get the Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett. Oh yeah, he's my favorite.
Did you see his lifestyle?
I've listened to every podcast about him, and I know him almost very well. I'll tell you a fun story which you'll hear. So when Warren Buffett was like in high school, like maybe class 9, 10, he found out his friend was a tinkerer. He was very good at fixing things. Handy guy. Simple handy guy. So what he found out was he was making so he would just like to find cars and just do it for fun more in a way. So he was like, I think if I could ever have a business idea, I'll use him. I'll figure out how to get him involved. So for some reason, he found out. He went to him and said, just like these cars, you think if I give you vending machines, you can do it something more? He said, I think I'm going to work around it. So he got some money and he bought a vending machine, worn out, and he went to that guy. And he said, can you figure it out? He took a day long. He figured it out, like how to fix it. So he found a business opportunity. So him and his friend went to barbershops and said, we are from, we are from Ugyen Stuff Company. We work for Mr. Ugyen, and he has these vending machines. And how about if we keep it here? We split the revenue 50-50. Sorry, not vending machine, sorry, pinball machine. Pinball machine. So it's like, you have to give us anything, we'll just keep it here, we'll install it, and whatever money we make, 50-50 share. And this fucking guy, he went everywhere on the block pretending that there's this guy called Ugyen Tshering, example, and then we were working for him, say, vending machine, pinball machine, And then he paid his friend a little bit amount of money. He kept the benefits. Basically, by the time he went to college, he said, "Dad, I don't need your money. I'm good. I'm going to pay for college myself." He saved about $13,000, which was equivalent to the now maybe like 100 or 200k US dollar. So my player, it was in his blood, miss. In class 9, when I was thinking about fucking Beyblades or whether Ash, who is Ash going to catch in the next episode? This fucker was going around barbershops, hustling, man.
That's awesome, right?
Oh, nice.
So my player, Gina, and then he just knew, like, he just clicked, man. Some people, he just clicks. So that's like Warren Buffett. He's someone I aspire to, but I love Mark Cuban. You know Mark Cuban?
Yeah. He's
You know Mark Cuban. That guy.
He put sports on the internet.
Yeah, basically he puts sports on the internet.
He owns the.
He owns Mavericks, but he sold his share. He owns a lot of companies, but basically he had a website called broadcast.com, and he sold it to Yahoo for like $1 billion.
Yeah.
Like
Now he's selling pharmaceuticals online. Because Nagi pharmaceutical companies are overcharging mena. So you can get it online. So he's making it cheaper for medical and to get medicine.
But basically, Mark Cuban's story, the anime, he was just very alert, and he around 90s now he realized, wait a minute, this
Smart job,
this thing called the internet, I need to. I think it's going to boom. It's the next boom, and I'm going to invest heavy in it. So he just knew about it. So .com boom came. He invested his business for like maybe a couple of $1,000s, became $1 billion company. Same way, but he was in his blood. College, what he used to do was he used to host sorority parties though. So basically, he'll go to
Elon
the store.
Even Elon Musk used to do that. Yeah.
So they just hustled, So he came in their blood. He used to buy 2 kegs of beer, which would cost, let's say, $200. And he'll host house parties with a DJ, snacks, food, which he'll invest $200. And he'll charge everybody like $20 entry. And he'll fill up the place. And he'll do it every weekend, though. And he bought a car there. And like, just by doing these small, odd jobs, that's when you can tell that's an entrepreneur. See, not from doing the big things. It's from the small things. So.
Agreed. That's a powerful story. Yeah.
So my hustle you'll become a CEO.
Even Richard Branson, Michael was mentioning, Richard Branson, how he started was Kohima, he went to vacation from the United Kingdom. The gardeners showed the summer in Europe, I don't know, or somewhere else. And he found out that vinyl CDs, they were really cheaper than London. So he was like, okay, I will buy these here for cheap and I'll sell it there for what they usually pay there. So that was the start of Virgin Records there. So Virgin Mobile, Virgin Airlines. And he started from hustling that there first. So his origin story.
Like you have to look anywhere also. The Tashi Corporation, they started as a grocery store. They just expanded their businesses. They were very smart with their investments. Even like after all the money they made, they still invested in Tashi Cell. They still invested in Bhutan Airlines. And like now these investments of the past are paying dividends in the present.
True.
But then again,
a lot of people to look up to.
Yeah, you
that
look
are
up
doing
to
amazing work.
But like I said, you start with the hustle. No, you start with the hustle.
Oh, talking about my T-shirt, Chongpen. So this was a hobby I was doing. I was just sitting with a couple of my friends and we were discussing and wanted to do a podcast where we talk about just the business stuff, right? So I think the word Chongpen is like the
king of sales there.
The leader of the business or something like that, right? And what's really interesting is Chongpen no Zampo. Any local inspiration to and Dr. Phuntsho was kind enough to spend some time with me, and I also wanted to hear his whole entrepreneurial journey. So I was sitting with him, and he shared the story of Chongpen no Zampo was actually derived from a real character in Tibet during the 11th or 10th century, and this guy also has such a We were not taught of the stories, but the stories that I was able to gather from Dr. Karma, this guy was amazing in the sense of he had to restart over and over again. But he goes through all of these issues of making wealth and then his friends joining him and they all making wealth together and they all gamble and lose everything and starts from scratch again, and then he becomes a really, really successful entrepreneur later on in his life. And one of the story was he loses everything at a gambling house at Lhasa, and then now he's to a point he cannot even return back to his village. So then he works for some other older other landlord, for about 8-9 years. And after 8 years, he wanted to go back to his village to see his mother. So all he had was a cow skin, cow hide, right? Ko chapachita and a couple of, just few things, this once great business person from the village, returning back to the to his village with a donkey and just a couple of things, And as he passed that point of the mountain where he looked down to his village and saw his mother's house, he could not face to go there. So he came. He was so ashamed of himself, so he came back and he was riding the donkey to a point. He rode the donkey to death. And he was left in the middle of nowhere with a dead donkey and some cowhide, and his small bag, right? And while he was sitting there, he saw this ant trying to climb up a rock, trying again, falling down. It tries like multiple times, And then he was looking at the ant and thinking to himself, why isn't the ant quitting, Then after so many tries, the ant manages to climb up, and that was when he got his lesson as well. So then he goes back and then he starts doing things, and he becomes one of the during that point. One of the wealthiest businessmen. And he supposedly also started one of the sects of the Buddhist school. Oh. It was one of his philanthropic work of giving back. So that was something he did towards much later part of his life. And I think there's a lot of inspiration that we can take is, it's also not just the profit, right? It's also you as a person growing,
Yeah. That's why, it might be cliche, but to use his majesty's words that we need grit, So if you do not know loss and failure, and you try again, then you don't deserve success.
I think adversity is paramount to his growth. I think so. Even if you're an entrepreneur, you feel like, for example, we work on a business. It's like a plant. You water it, you want to see it grow, but it doesn't always work out. But it doesn't matter. You can take that skill to another different type of flower or a plant that you're working on, like a new business. Then you can apply what I went wrong. So maybe if you can bloom that, then you can have a garden of these. So it's all about making mistakes until you find one successful thing.
Also, right. Also, the global business success rate is about 5 to 10%. So you need to start you need to fail in at least 9 business for one to work. So that's the whole premise of, trying again, figuring it out. Sometimes the product is right, but maybe the market does not fit, or the brand is not there in the place, or maybe the packaging is not working. So I think that has pretty much been, that's pretty much the job of the entrepreneur to kind of figure out. And it's really cool that we see a lot of young people, even old people, it doesn't matter, I think, the age for you to believe in something and start building that around. So I think that's awesome. And while we do that, there might be profits, there might be loss, but how do we deal with those also, right? If there's profit, how do we use it, to the beautiful world that you mentioned was created by people who put in the work. So also at the same time, if you make profit, what you want to do with that, so things like that, also how we are trying to do ABS, access benefit sharing kind of contract with the farmers and all of that. I think these are the cool stuff we can do.
Yeah, well, one thing I admire about you is you're actually trying to use what our country has, which is herbs, and trying to make a sustainable business out of it. Because entrepreneurs, Bhutan, the ones who are very successful, I'm not saying all of them, but the people which import things from outside, hike up the price, sell it to our own people, and become rich. Which I feel like obviously you're doing great as a businessman. You're doing great. Maybe with the money you're doing something else. I don't know, but I don't feel as a sustainable entrepreneur because you're basically sucking your own people to make yourself richer, and from there on I don't know what you can do. So I feel like if you want to be a sustainable entrepreneur who wants to have all this the ideals of a healthy, sustainable human being, then you have to do something which doesn't harm others and it gives you benefits to all. But that's hard to do. That's the hard way. And then I cannot blame people for going the easy way route. If I had the chance to go become an entrepreneur fully. My dream was to open a bar there, sports bar, football chitani. But my mom was like saying, like, how selfish are you? You're going to make yourself rich by making people drunk and Lhazzzy. It means the shaz, chatu, chimnajo, aldan, I was like, fucking mom. But she was right there. And then now it's always like a what do you call, like a battle with me. Like if I ever want to do like a big business, will it be sustainable? Will it do more harm than good? I always ask myself that question.
That's really nice. That's really nice. It's. I think it's important to have intention, right, in what we do, and I don't necessarily think like any kind of business is bad in that sense of like even the import and all of that. It's still a very important task that's being handled.
Yeah.
But even within that, how can we optimize? How can we make things cheaper for all of us, right? So I think that's the space for entrepreneurs to come into, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think not necessarily there's a particular way of how I think everyone should do it. But like you said, personally for me also, I would prefer to do it in a sustainable way and
for sure.
everything in a nice way.
Like I said, we're not harming. Less harm, less karam. That's a catchphrase. Less harm, less karam. Okay, 5%. Okay, 5%. Okay, Inola come, then we'll wrap it up. Okay. How you doing? Okay. Came up in bed. It's actually good time to stop. It's 1 hour 30 plus. All right. Okay, we'll do a last personality test question. We'll do 5%. We can get to the movies the more.
We can. I'll just.
Pause. Okay, I will pause now. All right, we're back. And okay, so we're going to wrap up the pod. So we'll ask our regular segments. So first of all, Oogie, do you watch movies?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear your 4 best favorite movies. It can be Hemagiyetup, Dainabagiyetup. Recently you could watch. It can be a series also. Doesn't have to be Bhutanese. It can be Korean, Indian, American, British. Name 4 movies or series you like.
Damn, I like so many of them that I'm
just 4 top of the head.
Top of my head. Forrest Gump.
Yeah, okay, nice. One of my favorite movies.
Mama.
Cool.
I'm not a very smart man.
Bubba.
I know what love is.
Bubba was the best good friend.
Jenny was the worst. Okay, anyone who likes Jenny, fuck you. Though.
Blackpink gear?
No, I love her. Sorry, not that Jenny. Forrest Gump ki Jenny is the biggest red flag ever, man.
No.
Last the movie, she named the here's your son. Fuck her, fuck Jenny.
I'm still thinking about Jenny. But anyways, the other one is definitely Deadpool.
Oh,
Which one?
Which one?
One.
One.
Okay.
One was the best name. One was the
Yeah,
best.
true. Right. And Jim Carrey's Bruce Almighty.
Oh,
That's a good movie, right?
I've got the power. How many hands do I have? 4, 5, 6.
Now that's a problem.
Le shop chong finger ni
That's
Okay, 2 more please.
and thinking of so many movies. But
Any robotic movies?
First on top of the head.
Robot-based movies, robotic.
your iRobot, but Will Smith.
Yeah, okay, iRobot. Yeah, it's
Definitely
action.
worth mentioning.
Soon to be future, it's predicting the future. iRobot, okay. Any series, okay. Last series, she loved the favorite
Series. Haven't watched a lot of series.
Took the movie loved it.
Yeah, let's do movie.
Okay.
I forgot the name. The Dude.
Big Lebowski.
That's a good movie, man.
I knew that.
I like that movie.
The Dude, yeah.
The Dude.
White
Oh.
Russian.
I'm the dude, man. It's a good movie.
Ninja Zumera Dume. His stuff.
But they couldn't they hang out together all the time, man. Look at the movie chase. So again,
I think my influence of the movie was actually through him. Big Lebowski was. He.
But I remember, I think that's how I make friends also, through like common things like movies and video games. And that's how I can judge people. And then what I used to do is show me a Spotify playlist. okay, we can be friends. Or,
That's-
I don't think we can be friends.
That's a good test.
Hema was Spotify playlist, but that is not some music. I'm chin yenimi Hema zumbe. So now it's like, what's your movie like?
What's your movie?
Oh, okay. So now I can tell to be Okay, what else is it? Like me also no the guys chum chum de Shrek to go nga galo da. Shrek part 2. Specifically Shrek part 2.
Man, one. One.
One in na?
Yeah, one.
What two? Two is the
Shrek,
best.
One guy.
I love two, man.
Nice.
Look,
Finding
Shrek,
common-
we're sexy.
Ching ani Isaac Asimov la meha goiga.
Isaac Asimov,
Isaac Asimov. He's like
the computer.
fictional. He's a sci-fi writer. I think he was the innovator who laid down the laws of robotics because he was fantasy and jumbate. So inspired the works of Star Wars. Get it? How robots operate kung rule him and Terminator gizume. So it's the foundation. Isaac Asimov works thawat. We also read that in Nungzampa, I think. Short story chi robotics kole. Robotic kole. Bicentennial man kugi namashi I don't know.
English textbook na yun.
Yeah, when you mention iRobot and what he has.
See, Bicentennial Man, Robin Williams, the robot, lives a beautiful life. He lives 200 years. I want to be
You're not a
Bicentennial.
robot, man.
I want to be a robot, man.
Little Miss.
He lives 200 years, man.
We must mention John Wick as well.
Oh, you're a big John Wick fan.
I think I like the whole idea of
A guy who goes to revenge because his dog is dead, yeah.
not necessarily that, but what's important to you, and
Pencils.
willing to fight for it.
그게 dialogue
If you're
이름을
not a
아니
fighter,
모두
how can you be a
비치럼이다.
lover?
아니 그 dialogue 암치 미스 뭐 공기랍다
Fight for
그게.
things you love. Yeah.
지금 그게 단 복사하고.
I'm not a
really cool
John Wick
character.
fan, so I
It's
can.
really good, man.
And
It's
I think
really
also the whole movie enhances because of the actor himself.
good. Yeah. The movie was gonna be called something else. Nomination. Did you know? It was gonna be called Carnage.
man.
Yeah.
The Matrix.
Yeah, Matrix is actually a metaphor for life.
There is no spoon in the.
There is no spoon, so why care about it?
We should make a red pill and a blue pill.
Yeah, we're already doing it in real life. Yeah? The blue pill is being ignorant. The red pill is trying to.
Morpheus or Morpheus? One of the movies of all time, Gamo.
One of the movies of all time. Yeah.
I'm cheating now. Anything
I'm
else?
still said
Oh,
4.
okay.
Okay.
Do you have any music artist that you listen to? Like, what's your
Playlist look like.
now we can be friends in the Anultani?
I listen to a lot of random stuff.
Okay, just like
A lot of Sufi stuff. Even the throat singing.
Mongolian throat
Oh,
singing
it's pretty
compilation.
cool.
You know, last
Top
time I
10.
did a musical concert.
Yeah.
The throat singer came there.
That was awesome. That was
Bartzorik.
awesome.
Shout out to Mongolian Gi Bartzorik. Okay, very good.
Shout out to who also?
Humo.
Yumba.
And just as it, I don't know what it is. No,
It's tough, yeah.
It shouldn't be nice, but it's nice. No, I don't know how to
Nice,
say
right?
it.
It's tough.
That's awesome. That's really nice.
Battle cries on me now.
There was, I think, a whole batch of really cool people that came there. That
Yeah,
night.
it was fun. I met a lot of. They're all very humble, which I really admire. Humility actually goes a long way when you have like people like where sometimes if they act result poor, like it clouds their achievements. No? But these people like they were very very pleasant people and very talented and pleasant. So bonus
That's awesome.
been
right?
das.
That's
Song la wachi, but other than Mongolian singing,
Throat singing only more.
No, and Jacob Hollier, do you listen to him?
I know.
He's a composer, brilliant guy. Like he was a child prodigy as well, and the way he brings out the audience into the music, that's something that I really like.
Gachi genre gi mo?
He does. He's not really specific to one genre, but he can even organize a whole orchestra, So I definitely recommend some of his songs. A Rock on Somewhere. He did this blend with sitar, and there's this Indian singing, right? And then he blends it beautifully with the English version and his piano skills. So it's so beautiful of how he brings music instrument and musical genre from 3 different places and put together.
Yeah, nice.
It's awesome.
Okay, what's your favorite Lay's packet color?
In my childhood, I had a lot of green. Green, yeah, that would be my favorite. But
The
now,
movie night mein Lay's is big. What do you pick?
I would would go for yellow.
Oh,
Something
see, I didn't tell him okay, you can stay, okay?
My homeboy.
Yellow lace, okay. Final one. Tomorrow you die, okay? Today, what are you eating? If you cannot think about a specific dish or multiple, think about a thali. What's on your thali, Tim?
Oh,
What kind of rice?
anything cooked by my mother. That would be nice.
Oh.
But that seems quite tragic too. My mother needing to cook my last meal.
Yeah, but
shit.
what would she cook?
But Ematatse,
Okay. What type? Imamap, him,
Dried chilies.
him.
dried cheese.
With onions. I think some don't
okay,
like
so
onion.
best.
Sure, like little on the dry side.
Okay.
Yeah, with local cheese.
Okay, sure. Imatatsi. Rice gazamo. To map to him. To him lo, to kap.
Tomap.
Tomap,
To red
okay.
yukhagi rice,
Ichum, okay.
ichum, and suja. I think that 3 is enough.
Wow, really? Simple man. Megoya. Bazomchi, pero shakam, stickamchi. Huh?
Easy gasm, easy ga.
Easy, sure. But red emagi.
Okay.
Red ema.
Or like pasty or like any gopda any actually.
Burnt emma.
Oh, burnt emma.
Burnt emma, please. Burnt emma.
Okay. Simple man.
Gives, creates cancer to West then burnt emma the top to But
But it's your last meal.
It's your last meal.
Let's have it.
Okay, what are you drinking? What's your beverage?
Suja.
Oh, sorry, you said suja. Okay.
Jaju.
Jaju. I think that's enough. It's more than enough. Beautiful dish. Simple, beautiful.
Beautiful, simple. Very Bhutanese. Very ngalop of you.
Where are you from?
I was born here, but I'm from Wangdi, so and the Shele, which is where the Gelsung thing is happening. That village, but no kind of connection there.
The connection is tempo in.
Connection is tempo, I think. So emotional home is here.
Yeah, me also. I always say that to people. Chigat must tempo. Sense tempo in that tempo temporary. Up is from Poro, is from Kurti, but cons not chip me. Not chiki, not sui. So I cannot say anywhere else. Obviously, I love both parts of my parents' heritage, but you could hiji, but no place like tempo.
True.
For me. No, you can relate. Sure, no more.
Yeah.
Easy. You think Thimphu so small, more. Gilpu 10 days there. Gilpu is lovely. Lokom Chima was like, oh my God, I thought Thimphu was small. No, sorry, I was mistaken.
You'll rethink your
Honestly.
statement. Nice. I definitely agree. Thimphu is a beautiful place.
Yeah, man. Thimphu is my favorite map, you know.
Whether it teach them more.
Yeah, man.
Thimphu knows, man.
You know.
Thimphu
San Andreas, you know, Los Santos. What's Red Dead Gate map, you mean?
I forgot.
Whatever it may be, bully or, you know, what they call true crime. Got the map. You know, say favorite game, and it's Thimphu, man. I love, man. That's my favorite RPG, man. I'll play it over and over again. I don't want to be liberated, man. Look, man, as the game, some sort of thing. Look now on the
150 denim, 150 the rebound demo.
No, my goal is next life and liberate Benny. This life, it's but who knows? Last 50 years of my life, after 100, I couldn't thump up it in. Who knows? But I'm too old. You tell them that bachelor banner.
Saipod 60,000.
But
you'll still be having some of the tinctures. I'll make sure you have it.
Surely, man. If this helps, you know, I'll be having it.
And you call Dom Ganjin 150 years,
yeah, man. And after 150 more, Black Mirror episodes of my consciousness, the more AI
happy ending
on but then again, that's like some sort of
bicentennial man ending.
But that meant we consciousness more part any system that's like some sort of Pro Max, man. But there's some sort of base on body. Then actually mind more part machine your perfect dream reality is still some sort of but Pro Max version.
It'd be like Inception there. You're living the perfect.
But there's some sort of Pro Max there. Nambo, do you think?
Yeah.
You build the castles, you know. Even like Leo and his wife, they were living.
They can differentiate minute.
It's too perfect, you know. They can't. They get too tired of perfection or something in a God realm.
Yeah, but
that's some things to think about. Yeah,
which you can think about it at the end.
When you talk about health, I think this whole this whole narrative about reality and very interesting, man. This is it's
Okay,
been
okay.
fun.
All right. Thank you so much, Chuzek, for coming. So, lastly, what we can provide other than the hot water, and also you're talking a little bit about your product, we provide our guests to look into the camera and promote anything you want. What's going on in your life? Look into that camera. Say, please look. Example, if you're a singer, please check out my song. So right now, floor is yours.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. This has been a real pleasure. The whole conversation was absolutely amazing.
Shimpa, shimpa.
I would just like to ask for help in the sense of, Pure Bhutan, we are a very small company. We're a brand that's trying to bring the story of Bhutan to the rest of the world, and everyone can help in their own ways. For us, what would really help also is, I don't want anyone to go like a page or anything, but if you hear about us, Pure Bhutan and the KUZU as a brand, definitely remember the conversation that we had. We want to really stand for people to take care of their body, and the help I would like to request is everyone to take care of their body. Because
Okay,
it
but let's say
matters
they want to
the
buy
people.
your. What's the thing?
Oh, sure.
Where?
So,
where? When? How?
So
Why?
our launch is still a bit a few months away.
Okay.
So
Keep an eye
but
out.
you'll know.
Okay.
We'll update and we'll promote and we'll get your help to get to the community as well, and to keep following on the story.
Tama last mission in long me saipon achu saipon gilab dani tu su data shop phone na do. Just kidding. But yeah, okay. Anyways, thanks again, Uge, for coming.
Oh, by the way,
yeah, go.
maybe I could also thank for us also on this journey of being an entrepreneur. I think we kind of miss out the other important bit of there has been a lot of support from a lot of government agencies, a lot of my dear friends as well, and that's why we're at this point, not by me, trying to analyze my story, and this whole thing came to be, there's thousands of people behind that has helped us get to here. So some of the shout out to government agencies like Department of Agriculture and Marketing Cooperatives. Then
Hey, DMC. I should work with them a little bit.
also Post Harvest Center. Then
Post Harvest Center.
the government has been making this strategic investment into facilities like Common Facility Center. All of that, right? So those were really helpful, and also my dear friends that helped me connect with amazing people around the world that kind of help us enable, expand our horizon. Like we get our product tested in Hong Kong at a lab called Intratech. So we are trying to ensure on our end that we are doing all the critical steps possible so that we get something that is actually helpful, not just pretend to be helpful, but actually helpful. The reason why we've been able to work on this homework is thanks to I just mentioned a few, but a lot of amazing people that has helped us got here. So thank you. You guys probably indirectly or somehow see this video as well. You know who you are, so thank you so much. And also moving forward, the help from everyone watching this video, even you guys, is we'll be coming out into the market soon, and we would love any sort of support. And we are preparing to export this, so we're figuring out a lot of things at the moment. And as soon as we do our local launch first, and in that, it would be amazing to get any sort of help. Like on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, we're everywhere. We're building a really cool website. Also, we're not just sharing about our product, but how people could potentially live a more holistic, balanced life. And by the way, I personally don't feel like I have a balanced life at the moment, but that's the aspiration, and we can all walk on this journey together to respect our KUZU.
Mama, what a last word. Nice. Okay. All right. End of the pod. So we gotta give first of all shout out to all members. Yata, thank you members. Thank you our podheads. Kariche and our podhead pro Doti. Yep. Kariche. Very nice. If you wanna be, link is in the description. If you watched to the end and enjoyed this, thank you. And we'll be back again next week. And if you've watched this entire podcast because of this face, please consider subscribing because of these faces. With that being said, okay, help me do the outro. Just clap, okay, like this.
Okay.
Not now, okay? Okay, until the next episode. Bye-bye. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Lasso.
Hello.
Bye-bye. See you next week.